I went from a level 1 to a top-rated AI seller on Fiverr in 12 months. And today, I'm going to peel back the curtain to show you how I did it. I'm going to walk you through my backstory on the platform, when I pivoted to the AI space, and everything I learned along the way, so you can hopefully fast-track your own success on the platform. If you don't know who I am, I'm Mark, a data science manager by day and an AI automation agency owner by night. I've spent 10 years in the AI space, and I've been operating my agency, Prompt Advisors, for almost 2 years. Let's start with a little backstory on how I got going with Fiverr. I actually first tried it out about 4 or 5 years ago, offering Tableau and Power BI dashboard. I thought I had a super marketable skill, but I had no idea how the platform truly worked. I wanted to charge around $100 to $150 per dashboard, which seemed super reasonable to me. But the market was completely saturated with sellers from countries like Pakistan and India who are able to easily undercut my prices by 50 to 70%. As a newbie with zero street cred, I struggled to get even a single inquiry, despite updating my gigs tons of times. After a few months, I just threw in the towel and moved on to the next thing. Fast forward to 2022, I found myself deep in the Turo game, which is a car sharing platform that works just like Airbnb. I was renting out my cars and things were going well after a few months under my belt. I'd become a top-rated host and realized there were some tricks to the trade. So I thought that if I packaged my services well enough, I could probably start selling it. So I decided to give Fiverr another shot. This time, I started humble. I offered initial assessments for just $10 to $20, sharing some of the strategies I used to succeed on Turo. I started offering a gig to optimize people's listings. Just like on Airbnb, hosts have to listings where they describe their car, usage guidelines, features, and include photos. So I gave listing feedback. I told people how to take better photos and optimize their listing for the platform's search so that they rank higher. Now, Turo was trending and working out okay, but it wasn't my true passion or my real expertise. I didn't see myself really blowing up on Fiverr just doing that. Then, in late November 2022, ChatGPT launched and changed everything. As someone with a master's in AI and over a decade of experience in AI and analytics, I knew this was my moment. As soon as ChatGPT dropped, I pivoted hard. I could see right away that one of the biggest challenges people would have is figuring out how to get it to give them the output they want. I had a feeling that prompt engineering was about to be in high demand, even before that term was even a thing. I started offering prompts as a service. $10 for a basic prompt, $20 for a medium level prompt, and $50 for a more complex one. Again, I had to start modest, as this was a brand new category on Fiverr that didn't really exist. When I created my first gig, there were only 4 others. The first page wasn't even full yet. I was gig number 5. For the first month, in December, things were very quiet. ChatGPT was still gaining traction, and a lot of people just hadn't heard of it yet. But by January and into March, the floodgates opened, and people were diving into chatbots that needed prompts. AI SaaS products were popping up left and right, and they needed support. That's when my business really started to take off. One little nugget for you is that people start searching for things typically 3 to 4 months after they come out. So what probably happened is that enough people have started using ChatGPT 4 months after I posted my gig. As demand grew, I started inching up my prices and expanding my services. At this point, I was still a level 1 seller, but I was putting in the reps to level up. I then went from just offering prompt engineering to offering AI consulting, to integrating LLMs in Google Sheets, and then building AI agents. Constantly monitored which gigs were getting traction and which ones had zero interest. An example of one that I posted that flopped miserably was a gig about creating a book with AI. I tweaked it around 5 times, but it got less than 100 impressions and 0 clicks in a month. It's really important to know when to cut your losses on a gig and try something different. By around August, I became a level 2 seller, which helped a lot with visibility on the platform. If you want more information on how each level works, I'll put a link in the description that breaks it down. The TLDR is that you go from new seller to level 2 based on the number of orders you get, number of unique clients you have, and the revenue you generate. For top rated though, you don't just automatically graduate to that level. Yes, there's a minimum criteria they need to hit, but even then, there's a manual review that looks at tons of other intangible metrics on the platform. Now I'm going to walk you through the Fiverr tips and tricks I used in the past year to unlock this exclusive level. First, let's talk about structuring your gig. This is where a lot of sellers miss the mark. Your gig title should be short and sweet. Aim for 4 to 7 words max. The platform makes you write titles in a I will format, like I will engineer custom prompts to perfection, in his example of one of mine. Keep in mind that once you publish your gig, some of the metadata gets locked in, and that affects the search algorithm and how it treats you. Pricing and packages are a whole debate, but here's my tip. Create tiered packages that clearly define your service levels. This helps you avoid those vague, open-ended requests from buyers. I've even built a custom GPT tool to help me write optimized gig descriptions, FAQs, and questions for buyers. If you want me to show you how to create a gig with it in under 5 minutes, let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video on that. Even though there's a lot of competition in the AI services space, I've positioned myself as a premium provider. My basic prompts used to be $10. Now they're $90. Obviously, I can do this now because I'm confident in the quality of my work, and I have enough positive reviews to prove that I can deliver the results I promise. If you're just starting out, you probably have no reputation on the platform, so I would err on the side of pricing lower to start accumulating those reviews. When it comes to your thumbnail, it's very similar to YouTube. Your gallery and thumbnails are make or break. You want a crisp, clear thumbnail with large text that instantly communicates what you're offering. I used to DIY my designs and thumbnails on Canva, but investing in a professional on Fiverr to create my thumbnails was a game changer. My click-through rates instantly soared, and I had much more time to actually start delivering on the good service. In the gallery section, there's a part called documents. Try adding a document that outlines your process. For example, if I'm selling a chatbot service, I would write the 4 steps it takes to get started. Maybe step 1 is you tell me what industry it's for and what the agent should do. Step 2 is provide the documents needed for the knowledge base. Step 3 is we build a prototype and iterate. And then maybe step 4 is we embed it on your website. Very simple. It just adds a nice touch, and it tells buyers that you've been there, done that. And even if you don't have any reviews, I've played around with video thumbnails too, but be careful. If the video becomes your default display image, it can sometimes work against you in terms of number of impressions you'll get. The video upload function randomly chooses a frame to serve as your thumbnail, so the click-through rate might plummet if you go with this option. So if you're a beginner, I highly recommend you don't start with this. Start with a nice, clean, clear thumbnail. For search, SEO is just important on this platform as it is on Google. Your gig title should feature your primary keywords, basically the terms that people are most likely to plug into the search bar. Then reinforce those keywords in your gig description along with some additional relevant terms. Fiverr has an awesome keyword search tool that you can use to help identify what's trending. Select the right category, choose the one that best aligns with your service, but also gets traffic. For my AI gigs, I opt for the programming and tech category, specifically AI development. There's also some metadata to fill out, like the AI engines you're using and the programming languages you work with. If you're just starting out right now, you have advantages that I never had. There's a whole new section called AI services with tons of new subcategories that you can post a gig in. A lot of these categories barely have any competition, like custom GPT apps, AI strategy, AI lessons, and custom writing prompts. I don't even rank well in these categories because my gigs are pointed to other ones. This is your chance to get started with little to no competition. After an order is placed, I like to have a set of targeted questions to really drill down into the buyer's needs. This helps minimize the back and forth, and it manages expectations, especially around delivery time. The clearer you are up front, the smoother things will typically go. If you really want to level up your Fiverr game, I highly recommend subscribing to Seller Plus as soon as you get to level 2. It unlocks all sort of advanced features like the ability to require buyers to request an order before you accept. This is huge for weeding out low-value clients and making sure that you aren't bickering with people who purposely order your lowest gig but ask for your highest service. Communication on Fiverr is really an art form. Because it's a global platform, you deal with all kinds of versions of communication. I've categorized the type of buyers on the platform into 5 main avatars. Now I'm going to show an example of each one. First, we have the ghost messenger. This buyer DMs you with a simple, "Hi, can we discuss?" and then vanishes into thin air as soon as you respond. The briefcase. This type of buyer is all business from the get-go. They send you a detailed brief, clear, concise, making their requirements known off the bat. They want to skip to the part where the order's placed, even if there's tons of questions that still need to be answered. It's all about getting to the how much or how soon is it going to be done. And it's challenging because you have to steer them to the conversation about something beyond price. Next, we have the silent typist. This buyer would rather climb Mount Everest in flip-flops than take a call. Every interaction must be documented in the sanctity of the chat, making the nuanced discussions almost impossible. I actually struggle with these folks the most. Next, we have the Houdini. These buyers master disappearance. Even after you thought you had a really good conversation and you even set an appointment, they perform their signature vanish. No message, no show, no trace. I usually follow up once or twice, but then I just let it go and keep it moving. And then finally, you have your dream client, the unicorn of Fiverr buyers. They come in knowing what they want is a bit special, and that you probably have to have a back and forth on it. They're communicative, they're clear, and they're ready to pay up if you can justify the value. Post-call, they're quick to accept a custom offer, and if you go above and beyond, these are the folks that will write a paragraph 5-star review and even give you a tip. Ideally, you want all your clients to be dream clients, but obviously that's not how it works. Communication is one of those intangible categories that Fiverr assesses in terms of how you handle yourself in your DMs, irrespective of the type of client you get. So it's super important to always be on your A game and be as polite as possible, even if the buyer in front of you isn't reciprocating that. Success on Fiverr is all about being able to be intentional on how you structure your offerings, from your initial gig creation to the way you speak to clients. Seller Plus, again, is an incredible resource for experimenting with some of the advanced features to really fine-tune your gig. The AI game on the platform is definitely a slow burn, and you'll deal with every situation imaginable. It's not always an easy journey, but trust me, it's so worth it when you can log into Fiverr and you see those orders rolling in, knowing that you've built something really valuable. So whether you're just starting out or looking to take your Fiverr hustle to the next level, I hope these insights give you a clear roadmap to achieving those goals. If you found this video helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more tips and strategies on how to thrive on Fiverr and in AI in general. And if there are any specific topics you'd like me to cover, drop a comment below and let me know. If you're just starting an AI automation agency, this is a fantastic way to start getting some exposure to real-world clients. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep leveling up.